What's up, guys? This is Jake, and today we're taking a look at this Harney & Sons Japanese Sencha green tea. Now, I've been drinking this tea maybe for 2 or 3 years. You can see the one I typically get is the 50 count. Obviously, you see right there the 50 tea bags. I drink this close to once a day, probably a little less than once a day. At least every other day at the very least. And I, again, been drinking them for a while. So I will say, when I first started drinking this, I kind of expected a like quote-unquote regular green tea. I'd never heard of Sencha green tea. One thing I'll say is this kind of has a spice. Maybe I just am not super cultured with green tea. I really switched to it as I was trying to eat and drink a little bit healthier. Use this as a substitute for some of the other stuff I was drinking. And this stuff specifically, when I first had it, I was a little surprised because there was almost a spicy taste to it, which I don't typically expect in my drinks. So the first 1 or 2 I had, honestly, I didn't love, but now I've gotten really, really hooked on them. So at this point, I've had more like regular green teas that taste super bland because I've gotten so used to this one. So I really am, at this point, a really big fan of it. I drink it a lot. Again, probably at least every other day, probably a little bit more than that. You can see this one right here does come with the 50 tea bags, just so you can see all the packaging here. Your ingredients are the Japanese green tea. Sorry, let me hold it a little better. It goes through the brewing instructions. I just use my Keurig for hot water. That gets the job done for me. Character, it says a very approachable green tea that offers the soft, light flavors found only in the finest green teas, contains healthy antioxidants. Again, I really, really have enjoyed this. It is really, I really, maybe a palate cleanser is kind of a way to say it. It is very, very good. I usually drink it, so I usually do quite a bit of coffee in the morning, and this is like either in the afternoon, I'll do like a cup of regular tea or this, and this is typically my go-to. The caffeine content is the 30 to 50 milligrams per tea bag, and I won't read all that, but if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to. Here on the back, you have the brewing instructions. Again, I just used the Keurig, so I'm kind of lazy like that. But guys, if you're looking for some green tea, again, this might be a little different than what you've had before, but it does have this like little spicy kick to it that I think is really good. It might take you a couple to get used to it, but I think it kind of hooks you after you start drinking it. So guys, I hope you enjoy this Sencha green tea as much as I have.